Welcome to the class, children. Enter musicians, come ho, and wake Diana with a hymn. With sweetest touches, pierce your mistress' ear, and draw her home with music. So it is a continuation of yesterday's dialogue, where we find that Lorenzo is speaking, and he tells the musicians to play music. So when the musicians enter, he says, "Come, oh, come now, and wake up Diana with a hymn. Sing a hymn for Diana." Diana is actually a Roman goddess of chastity and of the moon. She fell in love with a beautiful Endymion and came down from heaven every night to live with him. I repeat, Diana is a Roman goddess of chastity and of the moon. She fell in love with the beautiful Endymion and came down from the heaven every night to live with him. Actually, Endymion is a beautiful youth with whom Moon fell in love. Moon is goddess Diana. So wake her up because she is sleeping down on the earth here with Endymion. Wake her up. With sweetest touches pierce your mistress' ear. So in this way, let the sweet music reach your mistress' ears. Who is the mistress here? Portia is the mistress. Pierce your mistress' ears. Pierce means actually you take a sharp thing, something like a needle, and pierce. So here, pierce is not piercing actually, literally. Here it means that let the music enter the ears of your mistress and draw her home with music so that she is attracted to come home with the music. The musicians play the music. Jessica, I am never merry when I hear sweet music. She says, whenever I hear music, I feel very sad. Lorenzo, the reason is your spirits are attentive, for do but note a wild and wanton herd. He says the reason is because you hear the music very attentively. Have you ever seen, have you ever felt personally also, depending on the music, our mood also changes. Like early in the morning, we would like to hear very pleasant music. The same way, when we hear some music, you also feel very sad. When you hear some music, you feel very happy. You have music therapy also. They say illness also can be cured. Sickness can be cured with the help of music. So music really plays a vital role. So she says that she feels very sad, Jessica. Lorenzo says you're very attentive to the music, that's why you feel like that. But for do but note a wild and wanton herd. Just note the mischievous, wild and mischievous, or race of youthful and unhandled colts, young breed of untrained horses. Have you ever noticed the wild, mischievous breed of young, untrained horses? Have you ever seen them? Fetching mad bounds They jump about madly, bellowing and neighing loud. Bellowing actually making a very loud sound, just like a bull does. The sound of a bull, have you ever heard? Like that, bellowing and neighing loud, which is the heart condition of their blood. Why do they behave like that? These wild horses, young wild horses, because it is the nature, it is their wild blood. Same way, you can take the children also. The young children, before they join the school, many times they are very wild, they are not frightened of anybody, they are not afraid of anybody. They do as they wish. And parents also, these days they have generally one kid, so they also pamper them very much. And apart from that, generally parents think that the child is very young to understand what is fear. We should not frighten them, we should not scare them unnecessarily. Let it be. They just tell them. But some children they listen, some they don't listen. But when they come to school, they join the school. Slowly they are trained. They are trained how to sit quietly, how to behave, how to be disciplined. And slowly they come to know, yes, I have to be afraid of teacher. I have to obey my teacher. They may not obey their parents, but surely they will obey the teacher. Whatever the teacher says, they think that is right, that's all. So, how does this change come in them? This change comes because of gradual training. As they are slowly trained, you find this change comes in them. So, if they but hear perchance a trumpet sound or any air of music touch their ears, and if they hear by chance, if they hear any sound, by chance, if they hear any sound, what will happen? Any air of music touch their ears, and if they hear any music around, you shall perceive them make a mutual stand. You'll observe that they all will become silent and they will just stand in the same place without any movement. Their savage eyes turn to a modest gaze. The savage eyes, wild eyes, when they were untrained, these animals, when they were untrained, their eyes look very wild, savage. And slowly the eyes change into mild gaze. Because music brings change in them. Eyes can express everything, every emotion of an individual. Eyes are the most attractive ones in the human face, you can say. When you're angry, you can show your anger. When you're surprised, you can show that. When you're sad, you show that. All expressions can be seen in the eyes. So their wild eyes would turn into a mild gaze, just a very simple wildness goes in them by the sweet power of music. How does this happen? Because of the sweet power of music. This dialogue of Lorenzo, you have to learn, children. Put a tick mark there. Therefore, the poet did think that Orpheus drew trees, stones, and floods. Therefore, the Roman poet Ovid narrated, the Roman poet Ovid narrated how the musicians, the Greek musician Orpheus, Orpheus is the name of a Greek musician, made trees, stones, and rivers move from their place. How? since not so stockish, hard, or full of rage, but music for the time dot change his nature. All this change because of the power of his music. What changed? The trees, the stones, the rivers moved from their places. As we quote, anything is there. These in English, they generally quote from Greek mythology here. So he says that Orpheus drew trees, stones, and floods. Floods here refers to rivers from their place. They moved from one place to another because of music. That is the power of music. But music for the time don't change his nature. Music generally changes a person one time or the other, or some time or the other, surely. The man that hath no music in himself, nor is not moved with concord of sweet sounds, is fit for treasons, stratagems, and spoils. A man that hath no music, a man who does not love music, you won't find a single person, I believe, is not attracted towards music. When the music is being played, surely you'll find that at some stage or the other, every individual enjoys the music. He not only enjoys the music, he or she, but you'll find how they tap their legs. Tapping their legs is just with the feet. The foot you keep tapping, just beat with the foot, no? When the music is, yes, you enjoy. So, there is no person generally who is not interested in music, who is not moved by music, who does not love music, nor is not moved with concord of sweet sounds. There is nobody who is not moved by the sweet music, the harmony of sweet music. If he or she is not moved by the music, it's fit for treasons, stratagems, and spoils. If an individual is not moved by the music, then he is fit for treachery, treasons, stratagems, plots. Plot is plotting against somebody to do some harm there. Spoils, destruction. Treachery, plots, and destruction. Plots is not the land here. Plots means you plan to harm somebody. The motions of his spirit are dull as night, and the movements of his thoughts are as dull as night. Is a simile used here, as dull as night, as dark as hell, you can say. Let no such man be trusted. Such a person should not be trusted. Whose belief is it? Lorenzo believes like that. Mark the music. Listen to the music. Meantime, enter Portia and Nerissa. Portia, that light we see is burning in my hall. She says, she shows to Nerissa and she says, see, you see that light, no? It is burning in my hall. How far that little candle throws his beams, so shines a good deed in a naughty world. You see how far there's a candle burning in the hall, but the beam of light travels such a long distance from very far. Also, you can see that if there is no obstruction in the middle, you can surely see a longer distance. In the same way, shines a good deed in a naughty world. In the same way, naughty in this wicked world, good deed also shines in the same manner. Nerissa, when the moon shone, we did not see the candle. But when the moon was shining, we could not see the candle. Who says that? Nerissa says. Portia, so dawn the greater glory, dim the less. A substitute shines brightly as a king, until a king be by, and then his state empties himself as down an inland brook into the main of waters. Music, hark.
Completely.
She says, so doth the greater glory dim the less. You light a candle in a room, for example, and when there is no power, you light a candle, and then when the power comes, you switch on the light. Can you see the light of the candle? So, does it, what do you call? Its light is not seen so much because of the light switch, the light which have switched on, electric bulb or a tube light or anything. Why? What is the reason? Because when greater power comes, smaller is overshadowed by it. The same way, a substitute shines brightly as a king until a king be by. A substitute, a deputy is there. You appoint somebody as a deputy in your place, he would be shining like a king until unless the king doesn't come. But when the king comes by, when the king comes, the deputy's importance is not there. He becomes powerless. Then his state empties itself. His glory vanishes. Whose? The deputy's glory is vanished. As doth an inland brook into the mains of waters. A stream flowing from the interior of the country, but when it joins the oceans, what happens? When it is flowing on the land, the stream has its own identity. But when it joins the ocean, you find it merges with the ocean water and you cannot differentiate it. So, this dialogue of Portia also, please learn. Music, hark. She says, listen, music can be heard. Nerissa, is it your music, madam, of the house? Is it the music coming from your house? Portia, nothing is good, I see without respect. Nothing is good. It is until unless it is not affected by circumstances. Methinks it sounds much sweeter than by day. It seems that the music appears to be much better when it is heard in the night. Why? In the night time, everything is very silent and the music can be heard very clearly. And the music can be heard clearly, then you can understand its beauty, how pleasant it is. In the daytime, you have so many sounds around. With so many sounds around, you cannot enjoy the music. The music won't be so pleasant. Nerissa, silence bestows that virtue on it, madam. Madam, silence gives that quality to the music. Uh, because nighttime everything is very silent. So, what happens? The music looks very melodious. Portia. The crow doth sing as sweetly as a lark when neither is attended. And I think the nightingale, if she should sing by day, when every goose is cackling, would be thought no better a musician than the wren. The crow doth sing as sweetly as the lark when neither is attended. How do you find the sound of a crow? The sound made by the crow is very unpleasant. But Portia says, crow also sings as sweetly as a lark. Lark is a bird, no? When neither is attended. When we are not listening to them, uh, when the other sounds along with their sound is not heard, then both of them uh, seem that the sounds are very pleasant. And I think the nightingale, if she should sing by day, when every goose is cackling, when every other bird is making, every common bird is making some noise, at that time, if nightingale also sings, would be thought no better a musician than the wren. Then the nightingale will be considered not better than wren. Wren is actually a small bird having a unpleasant sound. So, uh, what she means to say is, nightingale sings when it sings alone. Only that voice is heard, and we find it's very pleasant. If it sings during daytime along with the other birds, nightingale, what will happen? Its voice, its sound will get mixed up with the other sounds, and you may not find it pleasant. So if it sings in the daytime, its voice also will be like any other common bird. Only because it sings nighttime, so you can hear the sound very, you feel the sound is very pleasant. How many things by seasoned are to their right praise and true perfection? How many things look better by being done at the right time? That praise for perfection. Please mute your mobiles and other things. Every day I hear the same thing from the same mobile, I think. How many things are seasoned are? How many things look better by being done at the right time and are praised for perfection? For example, it's your birthday and everybody is singing a birthday song. When everybody is singing a birthday song, we enjoy because it is the time to sing the birthday song. Everybody is singing happy birthday to you, and it looks very nice. Everybody enjoys it. At the same time, if some person dies, at that time we say happy birthday to you, what will happen? It is the wrong thing you're singing at that time. So everything should be done its in own place, in its own time. When it is done in its own time, then it looks better. It looks perfect. Peace, oh, the moon sleeps with Endymion and would not be awaked. And she says, but be silent, because the moon is sleeping with her lover, Endymion, and would not like to be woken up. The music stops. Lorenzo, that is the voice, or I am much deceived of Portia. He says, I think I hear the noise, the voice, if I am correct, if I am not wrong, if I am not mistaken, is the voice of Portia. Portia, he knows me as the blind man knows the cuckoo by the bad voice. She says, see, he recognizes my voice, my harsh voice, she says. As a blind man knows the cuckoo bird by its voice. Lorenzo, dear lady, welcome home. Lorenzo welcomes Portia. Portia, we have been praying for our husband's health, which speed we hope the better for our words. Are they returned? When he welcomes home, Portia says that we have been praying for her husband's health, which speed we hope. We hope that they have benefited from our prayers, the better for our words. Are they returned? Have they returned back? Lorenzo, madam, they are not yet. Madam, they have not yet returned. But there is come a messenger before to signify their coming. But a messenger has come ahead and to inform us that they are coming. Portia, go in Nerissa, give order to my servants that they take no note at all of our being absent hence. Nerissa, go inside and order all the servants, all my servants, that they should not behave as though we were not at home. No note of all, no note at all of our being absent hence. They should not behave in such a way that we were absent from the house. Nor you, Lorenzo, Jessica, nor you. Neither you, Lorenzo, nor you, Jessica. Nobody should behave like that. It echoes sounds. They can hear the trumpets. Lorenzo, your husband is at hand. I hear his trumpet. We are no telltales, madam. Fear you not. I think your husband has come, madam. We can hear the trumpets. You know, in the when the king arrives, the trumpet is blown loudly. So we come to know that the king is coming. Same way when Bassanio is entering, you find the trumpet sound. We are no telltales, madam. We don't have the habit of telling the secrets to anybody, madam. Be afraid of us. Portia, this night methinks is but a daylight. She says, this night, it seems, is getting over, and it looks, when the daytime, on a cloudy day, when the day is very cloudy, how dull the lighting is. This night looks in the same manner. When the daylight is sick, how it is, the same manner it looks. It looks a little paler. It looks little pale. It's a day such as the day is when the sun is hid. It's a day where the sunlight is very pale and also the sun is hidden. Enter Bassanio, Antonio, Gratiano, and their followers. Now, all these people enter the scene. From where are they coming? They are coming from Venice. Portia and Nerissa have already come to this place, and now we find that these people also have joined. They have come to Belmont. Bassanio, we should hold day with the antipodes if you would walk in absence of the sun. We should have long days like those on the opposite side of the earth. Antipodes is the other side of the world. So we should have longer days. If you would walk in absence of the sun, if you walk in the absence of the sun, um, even when the sun is not there, when the sun is absent, still your presence itself brightens the place so much. Whose presence? Portia's presence. Who says that? Bassanio says, he says to Portia that even if sun is not there now, your presence brightens the whole place. So, although we are on the opposite side also, there is no problem. The sun would shine as brightly. You will give out light. Portia, let me give light, but let me not be light. She says, okay, I wish that I should give light, but I should not become light. Here, this word light has two meanings. Giving light is one. The other one is being faithless. Being faithless is another. Means faithless is not here, not having character. For a light wife doth make a heavy husband. Because when the wife is characterless, the husband becomes very sad, sorrowful. Heavy husband, sad, sorrowful husband. And never be Bassanio, so for me. And never Bassanio should be sad for what I have done. Never Bassanio should feel sad for what I do. So I don't want to be light. I want to be better. I want to be good. So, but God saw it all. You are welcome home, my Lord. But let God decide everything. May God decide everything. You're welcome home. My lord. My lord refers to Bassanio. Who says this? This is said by Portia. She welcomes Bassanio. That's all for today. Bye, children.